What's the number one thing we all want in the year 2021? Hope. Stay tuned. Here's how to achieve it. Hello again, everyone. I'm Eli's dad with Project Eli, where we educate, lead, and inspire. And I was pondering, what is the number one thing that people are seeking as we rapidly, as quickly as we can, turn the page on last year's calendar and we open to January? What is the number one thing that people are looking for? And that is hope. So I took a page out of my mentor Bob Anderson's playbook and wrote the word hope on a page and came up with what each letter stands for. Mr. Anderson used to motivate us in terms of sales, and as a great teaching tool, I want to use that with you here today. And I think you're going to enjoy this. So let's get going. The first thing, hope. The first letter is H. What's the first thing we have to do? We have to be honest. We have to be honest with ourselves. We have to look at a situation as it is, not better than it is, not worse than it is, but as it is. And then we also have to seek help. How can we help? What is it? What problem are we trying to solve? What situation are we trying to make easier? What person are we trying to give comfort to? We need to focus on help. How do you do that? By developing good, positive habits. Have you taken a look at your habits lately? Are they moving you in the right direction? Or are they just keeping you on the same treadmill that you've been on forever and ever and ever and ever? If you see yourself on that treadmill, then you need to develop some new positive habits. But most importantly, the H in hope, the mindset that you have to embrace is, instead of saying, I can't do that, you have to change your question. And your question must be, how can I? How can I? The people that are the achievers in life don't look at a situation and say, oh, you can never do that, I can't do this, I can't do that. They change, their mindset is always focused on, how can I overcome that obstacle? How can I achieve that? How can I? The next letter in hope, the O. Well, the first person that you're thinking about helping is oneself, right? You're the first, you're number one. Got to help number one before you can help anybody else. Not necessarily. Sometimes we find ourselves in a mindset where we are discouraged, and that will present a particular difficult roadblock to overcome. So how do you do that? It's a simple formula. What you do is you find somebody that's in a more difficult situation than you are, and you help them. It's very, very simple. Once you do that, you start to see that your problems, your issues, your unsolved opportunities, and by the way, that's the correct way to look at a problem. It's not a problem, it's an unsolved opportunity, something that you can overcome by looking at somebody else's difficulties. Then you're in a position to help them with a mindset, with a little help. This past Christmas season, I ran into a buddy that was very, very down on his luck and gave him some money. He was so grateful. It's the difference between eating and not eating. Are you at that level? Sometimes, some people are. If you're not at that level, think about what it would be like to be in that position. Help somebody else that's worse off than you, and then you say to yourself, you know what? Dear, for the grace of God, go, you don't want to be in that position. When you help somebody else, you build up your mindset, and help yourself to overcome your obstacles, and then you're in a position to help oneself. Third thing, the P in hope, possibility. You've got to believe in the possibility. Once again, that goes back to the how can I mindset. You've got to be able to see an outcome that is better than your current scenario. Pause, think, envision. Get that possibility in your mind. See it, feel it, smell it, taste it, touch it. Make it a part of you. Get that possibility, something that you can believe in. You've got to believe in that possibility. The next step after you believe in it is to make a plan. The P in hope, plan. And when you're making your plan, you see the end result. All you have to do is get to the first starting line. Get to the starting line. Once you do that, and you'll run into an obstacle, and after that, a new starting line will form. But get your body in motion. You've got to get your body in motion. The law of inertia. Do that. Get to that starting line. You'll run into a roadblock. You'll run into a detour. And then a new starting line will evolve. And most importantly, that P, what is it that keeps you going? Progress. You have to be able to measure what your reaching your objectives. Small steps that you take. Okay, I've gone from here to here. You're running a marathon, but you don't have to start every day running 26 miles, 385 yards. What you've done is you've run a couple of miles, all right? You're closer to the finish line. Measure that progress. Progress is the elixir. Progress is the elixir that keeps you going when you're making progress. I'm going to talk a little more about that in a moment. The E in hope. You must be involved emotionally. It can't be just something that you're doing. There has to be the why and because emotion involved. You have to feel it. It has to be something in here. It has to be something heavy, and you have to be doing it enthusiastically. You must be enthusiastic about what it is you're doing. So there's the emotion, there's the enthusiasm. And then once you do that, you start to evolve into a new identity as an achiever as you're making progress. And as you're doing that, when you get that new identity, you have now empowered yourself to achieve that outcome. Stop and think about a couple of different scenarios. Let's talk about, Eli, something near and dear to your heart. Let's suppose that there's a lady that you want to make friends with, all right? So your first thing is you've got to envision it. You've got to see that maybe you get together with this person, and the first thing you do is come up with a strategy. How can I get her phone number, or how can I make a date with her, or how can I spend more time with her? Perhaps you're solving your problem of loneliness and you're solving her problem of companionship. And you've got to believe in the possibility that the two of you can get together, and you make a plan. What is it you're going to say? And as you're making progress, you're getting more and more excited about this person, aren't you? And you're getting emotionally involved with her, aren't you? And you're becoming more enthusiastic. And as your relationship evolves, you are becoming more empowered. Okay, that's a fun one. Let's talk about a different one. Let's talk about, and especially this time of year, people are on the journey to lose weight. First thing is, you have to be honest. Well, I'm a little bit overweight. I need to take off some pounds. I need some help. What are the habits that I need to employ to reduce my intake of food, to reduce my body weight? How can I do that? You're helping yourself. If you get a workout partner, someone that's in a similar scenario, and you work together, you're helping others, you're helping somebody else. The two of you as a team can motivate each other, keep yourselves on track. You've got to believe in the possibility. Yeah, I can envision a more favorably sculpted body than the one that I currently possess. I have to have a plan, and I'm measuring the progress. I'm losing this amount of weight this week. Here's my progress. Boy, I'm excited. I'm going to keep going. I'm emotional about it. I'm enthusiastic about it, and now I am empowered as a person that has lost this kind of weight. I'm giving you the example. This formula works for anything that you want to accomplish. So, the one thing we want in 2021 is hope. So let's embrace these elements. The H, honesty, help, habits, how can I, the mindset. You're helping oneself or you're helping others, or a combination of those two. The P, possibility. You've got to believe in the possibility. You've got to make a plan, and you have to measure your progress. Progress is the elixir. And you must be emotionally involved and perform your actions enthusiastically, and that empowers you to become that person that you're seeking to become. And because we never got to end a meeting on a philosophical note, at least I hope not, let's get out there and charge! I'm Eli's dad.